not far from where we live, changing colors, seeing how everybody's doing. I need to start a new Kinasaga project, and it's probably going to be the cross with the ladybug, or just the cross. I don't know which one I'm going to start, but it meant I had to cut it out tonight. I just wasn't up to it. So I decided I wanted to come live. I wanted to see how everybody was doing. I was just step down in the pond and see the change in pond colors, right? The fountain down there. Listen to the bullfrogs making their noise. And at least now the ground hasn't been covered by the geese. So that'll be good. Hopefully as the leaves change behind us, we can bring the rocking chair out here and just have me work on my soap caddies and so forth. We're still going to do King of Saga. That's not going away from this channel anytime soon. Oh, those bullfrogs are really making noises, I can tell you that. So anyway, hope everybody is doing well. I don't quite know what to talk about tonight. It's Friday night. Where's everybody? Everybody partying out there? Don't party too hard. The judge ain't back till Monday, right? I really want to take a moment, and I want to do it in some kind of video because I want to do it a little bit more concise or more whatever you want to call it. But I really want to get people to understand what this channel is about, and why community is so important, and why a channel like this. I was in King's Retro Gaming earlier today. I've been in Elevated Chills channel. I need to go back to Foodie's channel, and Tuber Chat, of course. But all of those channels do one focus. They focus on community. And I think with this new thing coming around in February where YouTube has said, okay, now you've got to get to 8,000 watch hours, which a lot of people is going, it's hard enough to get to 4,000, I know for that fact because we're sitting at almost 3,200. We're 800 away from reaching it. I've got people helping us out. And of course, we're kind of in that position where we're kind of going forward, gaining watch hours and going back, and kind of that yo-yo game that you play. But if I can say anything to encourage you, it's this. Don't build a channel. Channel will come. Build a community. Get in with people and channels that you can start networking with, that you can find, and they don't have to be in your same niche. You don't have to agree on everything under the sun. If they're supportive to you and you can start building a community, that's all that matters. Your community has to be at the forefront. A lot of us that are starting with this YouTube journey don't start with people that may have had the upper hand a little bit. I mean that by what I say, in the sense of they didn't have a channel with maybe 100,000 subscribers that had them on, and within a little bit of time they had their 1,000 subs, they had their watch hours, and they went on the races. They may never be to 100,000, but maybe they're sitting there with 10,000 subscribers or 20,000 subscribers or whatever it is. We know as we're building our community, this little niche in YouTube, that we have almost 2,360 in subscriber count, in community members, right? We know we worked to network and connect with those people. We're beyond grateful. If you are anybody that doesn't have that level, where you have somebody that has a large channel who comes beside you Hi, Emus. Hopefully I said that right. Emus, welcome on in. You can put why it does that. Hopefully I'm live and y'all can see me and I won't have had that happen, whatever it decides to do on me. Anyway, let me turn that back on. So anyway, if you're not a channel that had the ability to have a large channel come beside you, right, and give you kind of a boost up, and you think, okay, I got the boost up, I've got my monetization, I've got all that done, and I'm sitting with maybe 20,000 subscribers, right? Hi, April, welcome on in. Guess what? If you don't think that you need to be on the YouTube streets, I don't care what your subscriber count is, networking with other people, you're wrong. Because you need to. And also, if you go to a channel like ours, and y'all can put hashtag blessed in the chat if you want people to connect with your channel. If you come in like a channel like ours, you say blessed to crochet. Well, you know what? She doesn't, I'm not interested in learning how to crochet. If you come to our channel, guess what you're going to find out? There's not a lot of that there. A lot of it is I'm crocheting because I'm blessed to be able to do that. And opening our doors here at Blessed to Crochet to let you all come in and connect. That's what we're doing here. We're crocheting connection, not necessarily crocheting with anything else. We're doing King of Saga and making beautiful pictures. But it's there as an opportunity to open our doors here and let people come in. If our community comes in and starts chit-chatting and just doing the things and just connecting with people and asking people how they're doing, that brings engagement. You know what that does? People are right now, and I can see it, they're giving hearts and smiles and all that kind of stuff. Guess what's happening? YouTube is saying, wait a minute, there's engagement happening on this channel. We're going to push them out. It brings new people in to say, hey, let's check out this channel. Let's check out this lady, this sitting in the dark with a beautiful fountain changing colors with the bullfrogs behind us, right? Y'all, I know that a lot of people are going to get really, really kind of almost a little apprehensive to start a YouTube channel with the changes coming up in February. Don't. Just do it. Your biggest piece of advice that I can give anybody starting a YouTube channel is get out there and network. If you're into crochet, if you're into homesteading, whatever you're doing, don't stay in that niche. You're not going to grow. You're only going to grow if you decide, hey, I'm in this part and I got to step outside of my circle. I got to get out of my comfort zone, right? I got to be able to go into other places. I'm in woodworking. I've been in woodworking channels, fishing channels, gardening channels, homesteading channels, cooking channels. I mean, just all over the place. X, how can you crochet in the dark? That was probably the best motivational speech I've ever heard. Well, thank you. I'm not crocheting, but you know what we're doing here? I don't have to have a crochet hook in my hand right now. We're crocheting connection. If you want to grow your channel in any way, shape, or form, you have to start connecting with people. And it's not to come in and sit there and say, hey, you guys can drop hashtag blessed in the chat and come into a channel like ours. Well, we give you that ability to do that. You say hi, you do hashtag blessed. Guess what happens? Your channel drops, right? And then you leave. That's not engagement. Engagement is people are coming in here and talking. And that's so important, is trying to grow it slowly and surely. Here's another thing. For us, we really make sure, well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Another thing that really helps us too here is that we go through our comment section every solitary day. And if we see somebody new that's come in, like you, we'll go check out their channel. You may get a shout out one day. Somebody with 47 subscribers that has a channel of over almost 2,400 giving them a shout out makes a little bit of a dent. Not very much, but it does. It goes on there. If you want to be connected, another thing you all can do is we have recaps, and I know I'm behind on the recaps, so I got to get back to doing those. And I will. But you can go to our recap list, and it's our channel shout out recap list, and find hundreds of channels every week that you can be connected to. If you are not out there, we started about a month ago and I have 47. And that is absolutely amazing. Good job. Another channel, and I can't drop a link because I don't have anything. Another channel for you to possibly get involved with is a channel called Tuber Chat. We would not be where we are without Tuber Chat. That is full of a lot of other content creators that you could either collaborate with or have them help you with your watch hours and so forth. And so that's another really, really, really good place to be. Another thing too that I'm going to say is, even though with the new rollouts of the new monetization stuff that's coming down the pike, and it will change the fact that we're probably not going to spend a lot of time doing shorts. We're going to use the live highlights that YouTube gives us. And we're going to just do the recaps. Hi, Pet. Welcome on in. Someone that doesn't like my content, there are 3 dots on the top. If they say it doesn't recommend the channel. They can do that. I can tell you our little story. We were probably about, what were we at? We were like around 50, right around where you are. And I just had a short on my, but let me go back for a second. We probably will do recaps. We're going to do live highlights. Outside of that, unless I want to do a short, I'm not necessarily doing it. Because when this new 8,000 rolls out in February, they're not necessarily paying for your short. You know, they're not going to pay you for your shorts. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time doing them anymore. Sorry, YouTube. Unless I'm a huge channel, I'm not going to do it, right? But here's the thing about it. We were sitting about 50, and I had a short on my channel. Well, that's the correct way to do it. That is absolutely the correct way to do it. We were sitting with an 8-second little thing that I had made for my aunt with our dog, who's named Mocha. And I just happened, I was new, I didn't know what I was doing. I put it up, and I actually made it for children too, you know what? I woke up the next morning with that thing having tons of views, 100 new subscribers, and right now that's probably sits at about 11,000 views. It's one of the top ones we have. It was an 8-second little clip that I made and I just threw up. If you are doing this for financial gain, that needs to be the icing on the cake. Your community needs to be the reason you're doing it. You need to love what you're doing. I love crochet. I love King of Saga, which, if you're not familiar with King of Saga, that's the art of tacking fabric into foam board. I'm loving doing that. I love going in and going to places around here in Ohio and showing you all that. But my passion is connection. It has nothing, that's my passion, is I want to see people connecting with each other. I want to see channels growing. I want to see communities growing. That's my passion. Crochet is wonderful and I love it. I deal with chronic pain on a daily basis, and King of Saga is wonderful and I love it too, and so forth. But connection is where I have the true passion for. And for me, it's a little different because, hi Bud Files, I'll be fully honest, I had to watch so many tutorials on how to make YouTube videos. That's perfectly fine. Another good person to listen to is Kevin Colby. Really like his content. I do this for the connection because it helps me deal with chronic pain. I'm in chronic pain. I deal with fibromyalgia on a daily basis. I hurt all the time. There's not anything that changes with that. And all the revenue that comes from this channel, anything to do with Blessed to Crochet, goes to my mother, who's a widowed veteran. She's on a fixed income. That's who gets the revenue. I don't get it. I just want the connection. I want to be able to help other people connect with other people. I'm not in it for that. I'm just happy if people sign up for memberships, or they give a super chat here and there, or ad revenue comes into play. It goes to my mother. I'm just happy that, I'm getting people to connect with each other. There's nothing wrong. We're learning as we go. We're not, and here's another thing, and I've said this to people when I'm doing my crochet and when I'm doing the King of Saga art. You know what, y'all? We're not here to be perfect. Nobody's perfect. Not one bit of us is perfect. Hi, Riches. Welcome on in. Nobody's perfect. Everybody in this world is imperfect. We're learning. If you go back to my older stuff, I think, my goodness gracious, come a long way. We're not perfect. We're learning. But don't take the human element out of any of your stuff. That's what makes it unique. And here's the other thing I've said to people, and we say in our tagline, and it's meant very sincerely: be proud of being you because everyone else is taken. There could be 100 Blessed to Crochet channels. There's only one me. I'm it. Nobody can reproduce me. They can try. It's not going to happen. So don't give up and don't quit. We have been monetized. We were monetized partially in April of 24. No, August of 24, excuse me. We were fully monetized in October of 24. We lost our monetization in April of this year. And I can tell you that I felt like, man, all I want to do is give up. I don't want to do it. I'm done. Stick a fork in me, I'm done. It was my community and our community that said, nope, you're not allowed to do that. You're needed too much around here. We need you. We want you to be here. They're the people that kept me going when I didn't want to keep going anymore. It was my community that was there. We're sitting about 800 watch hours away from being fully monetized again. We're going to get there. And when we get there, who do I owe it to? My community. If you build a channel on community, if you build your channel, you're building community, you're not building a channel. And I said last night, as I said, well, maybe we'll get to 5,000, maybe we'll get to 10,000. I don't know, right? I don't care how big we get. I never want to be big enough to forget the people that are little. Because I think if more big channels came across these little people like us, there's no stopping us. So we've forgotten what YouTube can do. And I had a friend of mine say one time, YouTube is kind of on its way out. You should go trying to get, and I haven't figured out how to get monetized on Facebook. And I said, I'll never leave my YouTube community. Because when everything hit the fan, in my life, they were there. See, there's a really powerful thing for me. And that is, my aunt was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer, lung and liver cancer in December of 23. I reached out to my community in August of 24. Like August, was it August, July, something like that. And I said, my aunt has a wish. And that wish was to come up here to us to see us one more time before she passed. The ticket was $400. We couldn't afford it. She couldn't afford it. She was just battling, trying to stay alive, right? So it was our community that helped that woman come up here for a week. And you can see the video evidence of it. There's a playlist we have just for Patty. I got to give that woman one last hug, knowing that in the parking lot, and we got partially monetized when she was up here. In the parking lot of the airport, Columbus Airport, I gave her that one last hug. And then when we dropped her off at the terminal, I gave her the final hug. And I knew when I got in that car, I was never going to see her again. But I can look back at that week that we had with her. I can look back at the ornaments that she picked up at the Christmas store. And when they're hanging on the tree, I think, boy, she's smiling down, right? Because I had her go to the Christmas store and pick out ornaments that she would like for us to have. Y'all, that's community. See, they helped to achieve us to get that one last hug. They helped Christina have a horseback ride with her aunt. That ticket was taken care of by our community. Someone within our community was a travel agent, and they helped us pick out the flights because we couldn't deal with it. We were too emotionally, just too emotional for it. She came in August. 3 weeks later, she wouldn't have been able to travel because she was just too sick. And in March, she passed. It's on my community. Yes, I have. I have one daughter, one precious, precious daughter, and I'm very, very blessed. So if you just realize the power that your community has. If you get your community, if you get it from the get-go, from the start, which is what we have done here. We haven't grown leaps and bounds. We've grown little bit by little bit. And it's because of our community that's helped us get there. So focus on that. Don't worry too much about the shorts. The shorts are great. They do help bring people into your community. They do. After February, I probably won't focus a tremendous amount of time on them. I will do one, which is the recap, which I know I have to get caught up with. And I'm going to use the live highlight feature, which I'll go in and just put them up. And if I feel like making a short, I'm going to make it. I ain't going to spend a lot of time on it. And I think to myself, I'm not the only one that says that. And it's not that I don't want to do that for my community. But at the same time, if I spend 2 or 3 hours on a short, which I can, when we do the recaps, it can take, an hour, to get it all together for both of the channels, which I do that for our community. It'll have to be if I do a short, it'll have to be, I want to do this not for anything else but our community. That's the reason we're doing the short. And I'm not the only one that says that. My daughter, my daughter has a channel. She does lots of shorts. She's really good at it. But there's a lot of people that do a lot of shorts and have had to say, I'm going to have to pivot away from that with the new things that they're going to do. So y'all, focus on your community. Focus on building your community. Focus on the strength of your community. Get them active. I was thinking of adding a little feature, and I actually have to give credit to King's Retro Gaming. I was thinking that when we do the channel shout-outs, I'm also at 12 o'clock, if I can remember to do it all. You know, I've got this grandma brain thing going on now. Doing the channel shout-outs at 12 o'clock. We do them on both channels, Take a Break, and we do Take a Break, and we do Let's Connect on Blessings Through Connection. I was thinking of actually adding a playlist. Now, it would be, you can go in and there's several of them that you can go into on the Google and be able to just put free YouTube calculator for your playlist. I'll give you free. So we would probably utilize that because I don't want to put up a playlist that's like 10 hours long or something because people are just not going to sit there and watch that. But I thought if whatever channel we're kind of giving that shout out to at 12 o'clock, I would go through, hi Maury, going through and yes, I thought I'd bring you all out to the fountain tonight. I have to cut a new piece on the board and I thought it was getting late. I'll do it tomorrow. So I'll let you listen to the frogs and watch the colorful fountain change. But I thought if we do the shout outs at 12 o'clock and then at 6 o'clock, I'm going to start putting out, probably Monday, I'm going to start, or maybe even rolling it out tomorrow. At 6 o'clock, I'm going to go to that person's channel and find a playlist that maybe has 2 or 3 hours in it, or 3 or 4 hours, something like that, right? And just go ahead and say, okay, y'all, let's support them, this channel, let's support them. And putting that playlist up for people to watch. This way, it's just another way of supporting them. And then that would come out at 6 o'clock. Okay, now let's do some watch time. So if it's something that you all have on your channel, you know, maybe go ahead and create like a 3 to 4 hour playlist, maybe of just different variety of things in it. No shorts, just long video and lives in it. And create about a 3 to 4 hour watch list so that people like me that are going to say, I need to pull something like that off to share, can share. So you could put shareable playlist. You can put into Google YouTube playlist calculator, and there's free ones all over the place. And then on your playlist, have the amount of time, 3 hours, like the one for King's Retro Gaming, I have 3 hours, 56 minutes, and 14 seconds, I think it is. So you could let people know exactly how much hours it is. And if it's not there, I'm going to be putting that playlist in to the thing and saying, okay, this has about how much I need. But just be able to do a playlist that you can say, this is a shareable playlist for people to stick on their community tab. And then at 6 o'clock, it rolls out. And maybe a couple of our community members would go and just run that playlist or watch that playlist for you and have it running in the background. If you want to do a blessed, put our name, Blessed to Crochet, shareable playlist on there for us, that'll make it real easy for me to find. It's not going to be any more than 3 to 4 hours, because I want to just be able to share that. And I just think it'll be a great way to share a playlist and give you a little boost of the watch hours. But again, we're sitting about, I think it's 3176, something like that with the playlist, the watch time. And and another thing I'm really having to pay attention for myself lately too, y'all, and what I was reminded by a good friend, is that I need to make sure that my tank ain't empty. And I don't quite know how, I don't know how next week's going to be. Like I said, I'm having to just come beside my daughter a little bit. And it's going to wear me out. It's what has to be done, but it's going to wear me out. And I just have to do what I have to do. I don't know quite how I'm going to do it yet. But I just, it's just, I need to go sit in the jacuzzi at the Y. Maybe next week, we'll go sometime next week. I think that's what I'm going to try to do, like on Thursday. Just go sit in the jacuzzi and let my muscles relax. It's just, it's going to be a long Tuesday and Wednesday, and I'll be tired. And I feel bad because I want to be there for my community. But I also kind of feel, and I got to practice my flute really good tomorrow because I'm doing it on Sunday. God help me, please. I kind of feel as if it's like I haven't had motivation to do much of anything this week. Neither is my mom either. But there's a change in our schedule happening, and I'm just having to do what I need to do. Yes, it is. It's just, we just need to go. We just need to go. I need to go. I'm probably going to have to start going a little bit more because, I was so tired. I was blessed, but I was tired and very sore on Tuesday. And it's, I'm using muscles I haven't used for quite a while. All I can say is I know why they give babies to the young people. And yet it's such a blessing, but it's just, you're stronger than you think and doing what you need to do. Yep. And I'm blessed, and I am. I think I just have to realize, I think for me lately, the past little bit, has been, there's a change, and I've told my doctor, and I've told you all too, there's a change in my pain level happening, and I'm having to get readjusted to it for the past little bit. And they told me, they gave me they told me it was going to happen. So there's just enough of a change to kind of like, I have to get used to it, when your body has been used to kind of plugging along like this, and then there's a change. So I've just been, it just has to work itself out. It will. And then of course, what I'm having, it'll all work itself out. I just wish my body was like 20 years younger. It's not. It's not. I get frustrated with my body because I want it to do this and it doesn't want to do it. But I'll do whatever I have to do. And I am so thankful to you all. I can't express it enough. Crochet certainly helps me, and we, all right, I'm going to bed soon too as well. I'm going to go and get a good night's sleep. We haven't been able to be out here on the porch, on the patio little thing in our neighborhood because all the geese have been out making a mess. So it's all nice and clean. They put these shiny things around. I think that's been helping, but boy, was it a mess for a while. But thank you for stopping on in. But I think that I can't thank you all enough, because King of Saga has just been such a blessing. It really has. Whatever's changing in my body, it's been such a blessing to be able to go and say, okay, the crochet is, not that the crochet is not doing it, but King of Saga does something different. It puts yourself in a space. It's just very different. I can't explain it. You just can't. And if you're somebody that's not dealing with chronic pain, and dropping the water ball 5,000 times and dropping the lid and you're doing if you're not somebody that deals with chronic pain, right, then, it may not have the same effect. But man, is it making such a difference? Or I'm like, man, I could go on there. I can go live for 2 or 3 hours, sometimes 4 hours. And I'm like, I hurt, but it's not something I'm thinking of. Not that when I'm crocheting, I'm also not thinking about it, but it's different. I can't explain it. I've tried to put my hand, thing, and I can't do it. Other than you're so busy kind of tucking the fabric and picking the fabric out and deciding this and looking. It's rerouting. It's doing something. It's rerouting your brain in a way that crochet is not doing. And you guys help too. You guys help so much to come in the chat and talk and just be back and forth. And so you're talking in the chat and you're connecting with people and you're picking out the fabric and you're looking at the picture and so forth. And you know what, guys, chat it up. You're not going to distract me at all. Just chat it up. I can talk about, you all should know, I can talk about a lot of things. Chat it up. As long as it's respectful, I will talk about any subject. The only things we don't talk about on this channel are politics and that's the only thing we just stay away from because it's so divisive. Things that are really, really divisive. But other than that, I want to know about what's happening in your life. What kind of day you've had. What kind of thing you're doing this weekend. Kind of the struggles you've gone through, a little bit. Things you're struggling with. That's what community does. And I'm here to just be a vessel for it to be turned on and for you all to just come in here so I can listen. Because there was so many times in my life I didn't have that. So many times I wanted that and I didn't have it. I didn't have friends that were going to call me up and say, hey, I can see you're struggling. How are you doing today? They weren't there, I remember Christina was 5 years old. I'll never forget it. And I should have just stayed home. And I didn't. We were trying to get to church, and I should have just said, forget it, we're just staying home. I was still living with my parents. She just went into an autistic spiral. At that point, we didn't know she had autism. And she just started saying things. I went to church in tears. And nobody seemed to really care. And it was so sad. It was like, does anybody see I'm just falling apart? Trying to deal with this child. Because I felt like very, very much like I was such a failure as a mom a lot of the times, And then she would go to school and I was told, yeah, well, if she would just do this and she would just do this. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm doing the best I can. So I know what it's like to not have somebody to talk to. I know what it's like to not have somebody by your side. And we are opening our doors all the time. When you see Blessed to Crochet is live, it should be, networking, connection, community. That's what needs to be there. Support. That's what needs to be there. Because that's what we're doing. Not doing this channel for any other reason than for people to come in and connect. It really, it does make a difference, y'all. We are not supposed to be individuals. They're supposed to be just stuck in our homes with nobody to talk to. We're supposed to have people to talk to. We are people that are supposed to do that. For some people, it's easier than others. Hi, Jeremy. Yes, this is a fountain by our house. I thought I'd just bring y'all and we'll just chit-chat and talk and connect. Y'all can put hashtag blessed in the chat if you want people to connect with your channel. I just thought I'd come out. Beautiful fountain. It changes color. Lets you hear the frogs. And we just chit-chat. And we're not crocheting. I've never once on this channel in the whole entire time I've done ever crocheted, well, taught anybody how to crochet. I've done a lot of crocheting that connection, that's for sure. And I'm just so blessed, guys. I'm so blessed. And it's just about being there for each other. We've got to in this world today. We have to. Thank you. Hi, YT. Welcome on in. You can put hashtag blessed in the chat if you want people to connect with your channel. So, if I can just encourage anybody that is just sitting there with that big number sitting in their head, 8,000. I got to get to 8,000 coming in February. Buckle down now. Build your community. Network. Get with other people. There was I went into King Retro Gaming's channel and I've met several people. I'm running some of his playlists for them. I'm watching their playlist. It's running. That's what you got to do. You got to help each other. And then when I get done with that one, I'll do another one. All here to help each other. That's what you do. You network with each other. And then people find you, and then, you find each other. And sometimes those people that you found, they become really, really good friends. And if people don't think you can make friendships here on YouTube, you can. Absolutely 100%. And I am just beyond blessed with the friendships and the connections I've made. And you know what? If y'all think it takes a lot, this is an iPhone 16. There's a pond or a lake with a beautiful fountain and the frogs. And I have a stand. And I'm just sitting here live at night for you guys to look at the fountain, come in and make those connections. Kindness is free, and so is being there for each other. I think we forget that in our world today. If you haven't hit the thumbs up, if you haven't connected with Blessed to Crochet, please make sure you do. Right? Hi, Ray. Welcome on in. It's all about interacting. It's all about connecting. And here's the other thing that I want to say, too. YouTube is like no other platform out there. It's different from Facebook. It's different from, all the other platforms out there. It's very different. There's much more of a community feel on YouTube than there is on anything else. Right? Hi, X-Snoop. Welcome on in. You can put hashtag blessed in the chat if you want people to connect with your channel. There's one person that I met because I was out there networking today. I can't do it every day, but I was out there networking. Now they're coming in and showing me support because I showed them support. See, guys, it's all about if you focus on it, if you focus your channel on building the numbers and the channel. That's where you got to get away from. You're building community. When you start building community, when you ask people to connect with you, not subscribe, It changes things dramatically. You know, um, just think about it. How many people have, what kind of streaming services do you have? If for instance, here's the thing. I got BritBox recently. Love the Heartacres. Love the series, right? I wanted to watch it for free for 7 days. I'm not attached to BritBox. If I could find a way to watch that series without having to pay BritBox, I would. I'm not attached to BritBox. I'm liking the series, but I'm not attached to BritBox. So I went to cancel it, and they said, "Well, we'll do this for you, $8 for 2 months." Okay, you got me for $8 for 2 months. But if it was offered on a free service, or if it was offered on YouTube, guess what? I'd be saying bye-bye to BritBox. I'm not connected with BritBox. I like the series. I ain't connected with BritBox. Or Netflix or Hulu or whatever it is. When you guys go into these channels, you are making the connections. You're hitting the connection button. You're not subscribing. And I wish tremendously YouTube would just get rid of the subscribe button, because I think when people think subscribe, they think more like Netflix and Hulu and all those other kind of things. And it gets them totally away from the fact that they're making connections every time they do it. Every time you go in and you hit the subscribe button, you're making connections. You're not subscribing to anything, you're making a connection. Simple and easy as that. You know what I mean? And if you go into that environment, if you go in and you just hit that button and you leave, and not let somebody know you've been there, they're not going to know. I mean, if people connect to our channel, there's so much going on. I don't necessarily see everybody that just hits that button and doesn't leave a calling card, doesn't leave their information that says, "Hey, I stopped by to say hi." Say hi. Hi, Joy. Welcome on in. Say hello. You guys could do #blessed in the chat if you want people to connect with your channel. Say hi. Here's another thing for you content creators on this side. When you have a chat, welcome people when they come on in. Let them know how important they are. Every solitary one coming in and chatting it up and talking and interacting and engaging and all that kind of stuff. Let them know how important it is they're doing that. Because when they do that, when they make those interactions happen, when they take the time and become a member or gift a membership or send a super chat or a gift or any one of those, or they just watch your content. And mind you, if you're watching somebody's content and you can let the ads run, let them run, because they'll get a little bit of extra if you can't do the other stuff. Let them know how much that means to you. And here's the other thing. Let them know how much it means to you that they just show up. Just let them know, hey, thanks for just showing up. Because you could be in how many other chats on YouTube, but you chose to come into mine and show up and say hello. It means the world. Let them know how much they're meant as part of your community. When we tell you all you're a blessing behind Blessed to Crochet, it's the honest to God truth. Everybody thinks, she's just trying to put she's just putting it on. She's just trying to ice it. No. Y'all, if you met me in person, it'd be the same. I'd be the same thing off as on. I'm no different than the person that you're seeing right here. I have a genuine heart. I have a big heart. I wear my heart on my sleeve. Because I know what it was like to not have anybody to talk to not feel like I had anybody to talk to. And I've spent a majority of my life sitting there thinking to myself, you know what? I'm not worthy to be somebody's friend. And it's taken me a long time. And I still struggle with it at times to say, be proud of being yourself because everyone else is taken. I have to sit there and really most of the time I can take that on and I can say yes. Sometimes I really have to grip with that hard because I have to remember, yeah, I better be proud of who I am. Whether anybody else is proud who they are, I better be proud. It starts with me. And if somebody doesn't like me, there's the door. I love you and I wish that you would get to know me. And if they don't want to do them, it's their loss. Because you're pretty amazing, whether you believe it or not. And I like to get to know people. I love people. And my mother's like, Mary, I don't know how you could do it. Just talk for hours. Never get tired of it. Thanks, Dad. My dad was a talker. He never met a stranger. Y'all, build your community. Don't build a channel. Let them know how important they are to you. And go around supporting other people. You'll get blessed back. You'll get blessings back in return, that's for sure. But focus on building your community. You focus on that. Don't worry about them watch hours. They'll all come down the pike. Your channel will grow. And listen, be you. Just be you. Don't try to be anybody else. I couldn't be more like, I know people look at Mr. Beast, right? I'll say, I want to be like Mr. Beast. I couldn't be like him if I tried. I couldn't be Mrs. Beast, I couldn't be Mr. Beast to start out with, but I couldn't do what he does, right? So if I try to go after what he did, I'm not going to make it because it's not me. So, yes, you want to learn from other content creators. You want to learn from other people that have gone ahead of you. You want to get help and tips and all that kind of stuff. But at the core of it, your channel better be 100% you. Because people are going to pick up it. They're going to pick up if you're not really you. They're going to be able to tell, wait, she's trying to be somebody or he's trying to be something he's not. You can tell it. I feel like somebody else is like talking back there, but them are the frogs. These frogs are loud, y'all. And plus, I did not want to deal with that fly that we dealt with last night. I haven't seen the fly come back, but I was like, I didn't want to deal with that fly tonight. Y'all didn't know we were in my little bikini side of the corner last night, and we had a fly that would not leave me alone. I'm like, I don't have patience for the fly tonight, so hopefully by tomorrow it will be able to push it out the door, and it will be gone. So, and I think that we forget how much we can just bless people by our presence. My daughter called me tonight. She had a blessing happen to her a little bit, and I said, just look up to the Lord and say thank you. But we can bless each other with just being. Can't tell whether it's the AC or whether it's a bullfrog. We can just bless people from being around them. We can just bless them by talking to them. Just bless them by just being there and listening, talking, letting them know that they're important. They're worthy of having a friend. Right? And here's just one other hint I'm going to give you before I leave you tonight. When you start going on these YouTube streets, don't look at the channel name. Look at their content. Because sometimes, like people that I have met in King's Gaming, or King's Retro Gaming. I'm not a gamer, right? But I went in there, but I've met some really amazing people over the past couple of days. I do not. I've met some pretty amazing people. And guess what? I wouldn't admit, and I found that channel from Elevate's channel, Elevate Chills, right? So I found his channel, and I went over and checked out the other channel, and that's how I found King's Retro Gaming. But I'm not a gamer. But I wasn't in there for that. I was in there for networking and connecting with people. Guys, you want to build a community, you better start networking on YouTube. It's absolutely 100% something you have to do. I don't care how big you get. You have to. So, you have to network. And you have to let your community know how important they are. And you have to just be yourself. I think in today's world we try to be other people. Sometimes not other people, but I think we try to trying to think of the way to phrase it. I think we think this is the way the world wants to see us, and it's not. Maybe you're somebody that's a good talker. Maybe you're someone that's, can be an intense personality and don't quite know how the world's going to handle that. Welcome to my world. My dad was like that. I had more of a gait than my dad did, but my dad was absolutely never met a stranger. Never met a stranger. And was talk to anybody, talk for long periods of time. And for somebody that was quiet, they didn't quite know how to handle my dad. And some people don't quite know how to handle me because I'm not a wallflower. And yet sometimes I can be. It depends. It's like, well, sometimes I can. It depends on the circumstance and situation that I'm in. But guys, we got community. It's got to be the focus. And that's why when we're on our lives, we try really hard to. We don't want to talk about politics. Politics can be too divisive. I do mention my belief in God because that's who I believe in. But I also welcome everybody to come in. I won't deny that of who who Jesus is to me. But I also want and always want this place to be a place where anybody can come in and talk. As long as they're respectful. I won't take bullying. People being nasty to my people in the community. I won't take foul language. So as long as you come in and you're just genuine and you talk and you want to get to know people, guys, come on in. Right? And I just think that especially if we want to grow, right, in our YouTube journey, we gotta find channels like this, Tuber Chat, Elevate Chills, Foodie, Chip with Are You Locked In, all of those channels. The channels where people have given other people the opportunity to make those connections. That's what we need to do. And sometimes we overthink things, right? If they all have to be this way. You can kind of see my face a little bit, but we're watching the fountain. You're hearing the frogs. Not a lot of stuff going on. We're just having an old-fashioned chit-chat, right? So anyway, y'all, I'm going to be on tomorrow night, hopefully. I do have to practice my flute tomorrow several times. I think I'm going to do Holy, Holy, Holy. That's the one I think I'm going to do for Sunday. So I did it really well. I think I did it better than the other one. There's a kitty cat. I think it's a kitty cat. Anyway, I'm going to go inside. I'm going to get ready for bed. And with that being said, I'm going to say what I always say to you all, and I will be on tomorrow with a new Kina Saga project. Like I said, it'll probably be the cross with the ladybug. That's the one I want to really do next. So, I don't know what time yet. We know this girl. She tries very hard to schedule things, but it all depends on how her body is going to work from day to day. So remember to be proud of being you. Everyone else is taken. There can be 100 channels with the same name. There's only one you. Don't try to be anybody else. Just be yourself. You're pretty amazing. We have you covered. Thank you so much, you all, for having us covered. And keep crocheting that connection. You don't need a crochet hook hooker. Keep crocheting that connection. No crochet hook is required. You do not need a crochet hook. You don't need a seam ripper because that's what we use for a King of Saga. You just need to come in here and chat and talk. And we love all you. And you all are truly the blessing behind Blessed to Crochet. And we thank you. And for the new people that have come on in lately, welcome on in. I guarantee you this will be a very warm community of a lot of people that are friendly and wonderful and amazing. And we hope you stick around. I love you all. Have a great night. Beautiful fountain. See y'all later. Bye-bye, everybody.